What's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving the 2024 Tesla Cybertruck. Now, I am super excited to be driving this Tesla Cybertruck because it is one of the craziest, one of the most prominent, one of the most interesting vehicles to come out in the last 20 years. It is a Cybertruck, it looks odd, and I'm so excited to share my opinions on it with you here today. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form, takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to the drivetrain of the Tesla Cybertruck. Well, this is a Foundation Series vehicle, meaning it was one of the first Cybertrucks built, and actually, this was one of the first Cybertrucks delivered here in this state. This is a dual motor Cybertruck, which gives you about middle 300s of range, about 340 miles of range-ish. But it can tow 11,000 pounds, and that's what a lot of Tesla owners want. It does offer level 3 charging, of course, and supercharging from Tesla, but the biggest thing and the oddest thing about the driving experience itself is the steering. Lock to lock is only about half a turn in either direction with this steering wheel, and it also has rear steering, and so it takes a lot of getting used to. It works almost like a cam on a bow. It takes a lot less steering input than you might think, and at speed it feels very, very strange. And so, something to note if you do end up picking a Cybertruck up, or if you plan on driving a Cybertruck, just know the steering is really, really weird. So that's stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I don't have anything. I do have an incredibly long dashboard, and I do have a climate vent that I could aim wherever I want in front of my face, but I don't actually get any gauge cluster directly in front of me. In my hands, I do have the steering wheel, which is very oddly shaped, and I have things like my turn signals to the left and my high beams, as well as a scroll wheel, and off to the right, I have my cruise control, voice commands, and wiper sprayers, as well as another scroll wheel. Those two scroll wheels can be programmed to do different things, and will do different tasks at different times, so that's why I can't give you a definite answer of what they do, because they do a lot of things. The overall steering wheel does feel very, very odd, and like I mentioned with that steering ratio, it's a little bit to get used to, but not the end of the world. On the door, we do have our power button to open the door, as well as we have our window switches, and then moving into the center, we get our giant infotainment slash menu slash everything screen. Now, I don't have time to run through every single little thing that this screen will do because, well, we'll be here until next week. But a couple of the big things. Of course, all of your climate is ran through here. We do have Sentry mode that will protect the vehicle and watch out for any perpetrators. We have a heated steering wheel. We have biohazard mode. We have all of the fun games and apps that Tesla allows you to play with in here. And overall, I don't love this. I don't love that everything is ran through the screen. Now, I understand that Tesla has always done this, and it's just what Teslas do, but this is starting to bleed into other vehicles on the market, and so I like being able to have my navigation up and having physical climate controls or anything like that. It works here in the Cybertruck. This is a very stylistic vehicle, and so the big iPad type screen definitely works in this scenario, but it doesn't work in all scenarios, and so I'm okay with it here, but I would have liked something else or some other buttons or physical buttons, at least for climate or things like that. Some more necessities, buttons that I'm going to be pressing all the time. I don't love always having to hunt for everything. Obviously, once you get it down, once you know how to operate it, you've been driving it for a while, this is going to be easy peasy lemon McSqueezy, but as of right now, it's annoying, 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 annoying. Down below, we don't have anything. We have this giant cubby space with these sort of lines in it, which is cool. And moving up to the center console, we do have some wireless chargers as well as the cup holders. So we will do a big freaking bottle test, but if you saw my Chicago Auto Show video, you would know that the Cybertruck already fails the big freaking bottle test. Then we do get a center console, some decent storage in there, which is nice to see. But before we move on to the seats, a couple things to note. We do have this very interesting sun visor up above me. Because the windshield goes so far, they had to sort of make new sun visors for the Cybertruck. Very, very interesting to see that. Very weird as well. But the seats are comfortable. They are heated and ventilated, which is very, very nice. And honestly, in my time in the Cybertruck, they've been really comfortable. So I can't really knock them for anything else. They're good seats and I like them. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we are in the back of the Tesla Cybertruck, somewhere I have never been before. So, knee room, wonderful, and headroom great too. Now you do get this giant sunroof. I mean, the whole back is just one giant sunroof. I like it a lot. However, it's like 2:30 p.m. right now, and the sun is directly overhead, and I am just getting visually destroyed by the sun. However, it's actually pretty spacious. It's not bad. I'm an adult, and I fit in here pretty well, so that's really, really cool to see. Let's hop out and talk about the truck bed and the fun little things that come with that. All right, so we're on the back of the Cybertruck, and this is where you actually operate things. So hit this button once, and we do have the power folding down tailgate. However, it is not power back up like it is on the 2024 Toyota Tacoma. That is my press vehicle for the week. And so that actually has a power tailgate back up and down, as I will show you here. Side button little here. Power down, and then we can power right back up, which is a very nice thing to have, especially because the hardest part to do is lift it, not put it down, but the Cybertruck doesn't have that. So lift it up like that. And then we do have buttons here for the power tonneau cover. Hold it. You could stop it at any point if you want to try to keep something in. Only open it halfway. You can most certainly do that, but we'll open it up all the way. And there you could see this is the rear truck space. Not the most spacious in the whole wide world. However, I would say it is bigger than the Tacoma, again, comparing it to the car I drove here. So very cool to see that. And you do have some mounting rails along the side, which is really cool to see. I think people give this thing more hate than it deserves. It is still a pickup truck, and we can come down here and open up this little trunk like a Honda Ridgeline. Honda Ridgelines also have this feature, which is really cool. However, something that the Honda Ridgelines do that this doesn't... Oh, never mind. It does have a drain in the bottom, so if you want to fill this up with ice and soda pops for your next tailgate, you can do that, and then there's a drain plug down below. Very, very cool. Over here, we do have 3 outlets. Very, very cool to see that. We have some tie downs, and you can see it has this cool angular shape. So visually, it is very cool. In practicality, I don't know, I give it like a 7 out of 10. It's not the most impractical vehicle in the world, but it's also not the most practical pickup truck you can buy, but that is okay. Like I said, manual backup for the tailgate. Press the button here, and it'll slide all the way back down. We also do have a frunk. Although it isn't the deepest thing in the world, it doesn't have to be. You do get some storage space up front, which I opened from the inside screen. But here it is. It says Cybertruck right here, which I think is really, really cool. And then you do have a close button right here. Obviously, keep your hands and feet away from the vehicle. But there you go. A little bit extra storage up front in the Cybertruck. Now we got to talk about the looks. And... this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time to talk about it. Here's the honest to God truth. I kind of like the Cybertruck because it is so different. Everyone online and a lot of people that I even meet in person say, oh, every car looks the same here today. Every single car looks like every other make and model. You take the wheels away, you won't be able to figure out what car is what. Well, worry no more. This is the most polarizing, the most unique designed vehicle of, I'll be honest, the 21st century. This doesn't look like anything else. And to quote the greatest bowler of all time, whether you love it or you hate it, you still looked at it, and that's all you could do. So for that, the fact that it cannot physically be mistaken for any other vehicle ever made in the history of the world, I have to give it props for that. I don't think it's very pretty, but you have to reward the uniqueness. However, one thing I do want to touch on is the fact that this is stainless steel. No paint, which means no paint chips, which is great. However, if you drive through and hit some bugs, you get this really awesome sort of smearing and terrible. It looks bad most of the time, the stainless steel. Unless it is freshly cleaned and polished, most of the time it looks pretty bad. Take a look at this front bumper after a trip from Michigan to Illinois, about 4 hours. Nothing too crazy. But look at it, it's just gross. And because it's so flat, because there are so few curves, you never really realize how much the curves of a car actually hide the paint imperfections with shadows and light and things like that. So it becomes very, very obvious here with the Cybertruck. But with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving, finally, one of the most polarizing automobiles, the Tesla Cybertruck? Well, I have a love-hate relationship with this vehicle. I love the vision of it, and I like the fact that it is so different. Like I mentioned with the exterior, it doesn't look like anything on the road at all. And I admire that. I admire Tesla pushing boundaries. I always have, and I believe I will always continue to be. The downside of this car is in the practicality. It does at points feel like a half-baked item. It had the issues with the gas pedal, which, fine. If that was the only issue that ever happened with it, that would be fine. Some of the panel gaps aren't amazing on some models, but honestly, the one that I drove seemed to be holding together pretty well, and the driving experience was good. There's just so much politics behind the Cybertruck now. If you drive one, own one, buy one, or even look at one, you have an opinion on it. Even non-car people who have no opinions on Toyotas, Hondas, Nissans, Fords, Chevys, none of it, they all have an opinion on the Cybertruck. That doesn't happen to all cars. And so it's hard to drive a Cybertruck without that connotation. You have to realize that everyone at well, I was going to say the gas station, but everyone at the park, everyone at soccer practice, everyone at the school lot is going to look at you, they're going to take pictures, and they're going to ask questions. And you just don't find that much with a modern car under $200,000. And even so, most people kind of know what Lamborghinis are and keep walking. The Cybertruck isn't that way, and so there's a lot that goes into it. I honestly didn't love the attention that I was getting when driving the Cybertruck around. I felt like all eyes were on me. And quite frankly, they were. They were on me. And so if that's sort of your thing, then by all means, this truck drives like a car. It feels more like a car than a big old pickup truck, especially compared to the Chevy Silverado EV that I reviewed not too long ago. It feels more car-like than that. So love it or hate it, the Cybertruck is finally here. And it's on our roads, no matter how blinding and pointy it might be. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Anish and, of course, Holly for helping set up this video. They are two wonderful human beings that I am absolutely privileged to call my friends. They are wonderful. They made this video happen, and so huge thank you to Anish and, of course, Holly. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.